Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Dallas Palace of Analysis. Doing this for the Strickland, and today's episode is going to be, oh, there's my little dog, about defense. And in honor of that, I'm wearing my Strickland Frank Ntilikina t-shirt to rep it because long live the French king. All right, but without further ado, let's get right into it. The specific topic is going to be Julius Randle's role in the defensive scheme this season. All right, so let's start by taking a look at his role in the defense from last season. Okay, so he primarily last season was used as a drop defender. And in my view, Julius Randle was one of the worst drop defenders in the entire NBA. Okay. So he has poor technique, poor positioning, and very bad footwork, bad body posture, doesn't contest shots, really doesn't come up to the level of the screen and drops way back as if he's a slow-footed big when he's quick-footed big and has no need to do that. It's very puzzling. So here's Julius Randle here. The Bulls are just going to run a simple stagger. Rose is going to trail all the way around. Now, first of all, let's take a look at how much room Julius Randle is giving here. And let's talk a little bit about what the drop defender is supposed to do. Okay. So drop defense is designed, primarily for slow-footed bigs like Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, these sorts of guys often are effective in drop. And what happens, or what's supposed to happen essentially, is the big drops back, and this gives them the space to keep both the roll man and the ball handler in front of them until the point of attack defender can recover, right? That's the basic idea. And typically, if you're a little more slow-footed, getting back further, giving a bigger cushion here is going to make it easier for you to keep both men in front of you, right? Now, Julius Randle is not slow-footed. He's incredibly quick-footed. And in fact, for his size, he's one of the quickest-footed bigs in the NBA. Has incredible feet for his size. He's like 6'9", 250, and he moves like he moves better than like RJ Barrett, basically. And RJ is not a shabby defender, right? Shabby lateral mover or anything like that. But he just has amazing feet. So he should not be this far back, right? He should be further up to the level of the screen, and he would have no problem keeping both men in front of him. But he drops way back. And here, notice this posture. This is not basically there is no time at which this is an ideal defending posture. Very common, and I'll show you a few other clips. This is a very common Julius Randle defensive posture when he's dropping. Not what you want to see. And then look where the shot takes place, and look at where Julius Randle's arms are. And then the other thing to look at is, so first of all, no contest at all, right? The other thing to look at is, here's the roll man. So Julius's job is to keep both of them in front of him. He has no concern about this guy right now. The roll man is so far out of the play, you don't have to be concerned about it. If you contest, there's no risk of like hitting the lob threat, right? He's just not in position for it. Like he can't pump or like instead of shooting, pass it or something like that, right? So Julius should be up on this. He should contest. No contest at all. We'll show it through here in fast motion. But this is a really common theme for Julius Randle from last year. Let's take a look at a second play. Okay, so here's Julius Randle. Simple ball screen. Again, look at the space that he's giving. There's no need for this with the guy that's athletic. Again, we're seeing straight up and down. Posture, not really engaged, not really, trying to do much of anything. Not surprisingly, the Fred VanVleet's able to come around the screen and splash the three. Okay, one last play here. Excuse the quality of this one. It is poor, but we can still see something from it. Okay, here's Julius. Blast from the past. It's a little blurry, but that's Kevin Knox. Man, again, just we're gonna get, he's a little less, but a little less straight up and down, but he's still not really in position. He's not cutting off the passing angle to the big. He's really not doing much to slow down this either. Yeah, just poor defense. Okay, so what's changed? Finally, and I've been writing about this for like 3 years and ranting and raving about this for 3 years. The year we signed Julius Randle, I wrote an article arguing that the Knicks should use a defense that switched 1 through 4, but had Mitch play drop defense. And it looks like we're finally doing that. Tibbs is finally going to do it. So let's take a look at a couple of plays. Here's my favorite defensive possession from Julius Randle from the preseason. You can really see his athleticism on display. You can see he's engaged. He's attacking switches, and he's doing a phenomenal job, really. Okay, so here's Julius Randle. There's a ball screen here. You can see this is a 1-5 ball screen. This is Jalen Brunson, and this is Mitchell Robinson. So the Knicks are still going to play drop defense for, and that makes sense. You want Mitch as a rim protector. You don't want him switching out onto guards. You don't want him guarding on the perimeter and leaving the rim open, right? He's your best rim protector. You want him dropping into the paint. So he's going to drop, which he does quite well here. And he almost always does quite well. He's gotten really good at it. But here's Julius Randle. Now watch this recovery. This is a really impressive recovery. He recovers full speed. And look at this. Look at how he ends his recovery. So I'll just actually play that one more time. Look at where his feet are. This is great. He's squared off to the ball handler. He takes away any space for him to be able to shoot a 3. But most guys who close out like that are going to struggle to stop and be in position to move laterally immediately. But Julius is so balanced for a big guy, so quick-footed for a big guy, sure-footed for a big guy, that he has no problem doing this. He immediately, moves laterally, no worries. Now we're going to get another ball screen. This will be a DHO action from the Pacers. And this will be with RJ, who currently is playing the 2 here, and Julius. And watch Julius switch onto Duarte. Julius has no problem at all, stymies his drive, helps then on the post-up, offers a little bit of help on the post-up. And even though the Pacers score, I absolutely love what we see in this play. Another thing to note here before we watch a few other plays is that RJ Barrett and Jalen Brunson's strength is also something that allows Tibbs to play this defense. RJ is strong enough to guard up, to provide some resistance to 4s. And Brunson, too. We saw Cade Cunningham, who's not a small guy. He's like 6'6", 6'7". Maybe he doesn't fully have his NBA strength, but try to post up Brunson repeatedly in the first preseason game. And Brunson really had none of it. Stopped him many times, drew some offensive fouls, really did well. So both Brunson and RJ are very strong and able to switch up. And Mitch, of course, is awesome helping and almost gets this block, actually. So that allows Tibbs to be a little more aggressive with switching. Okay, but let's take a look at 2 other plays. So this one is interesting. This is not, I think, what Tibbs is going to typically want to do. And most instances he doesn't do. We haven't seen, the Knicks do this, but this is a little bit more like, shot clock was running down. And the Wizards were unlikely to get a shot at the rim. So we end up getting a Julius Mitchell Robinson switch. But first of all, so here's Brad Beal. Julius Randle is going to switch onto Brad Beal with the ball screen, which notice this is not something, this is scheme, not only because they continue to do it, but this is not a screen that is forcing a switch. Kyle Kuzma doesn't even make contact with RJ, right? This is just straight up what the scheme is. So RJ switches on to Bradley Beal. One thing you're going to note here is Brad does not view this as an obvious mismatch. Okay. That's crazy because you're talking about him going up against Bradley Beal, one of the best 2 guards in the NBA, going against a big, essentially. a 6'9", 250 guy. Most of those sorts of matchups, Bradley Beal is going to view as an absolute mismatch. Not in this case. All right. So the Wizards continue to run their play. And now here, this is late in the shot clock. And ordinarily, Mitch is going to drop this pick and roll. But in this particular context, or in this particular case with the shot clock running down, Mitch steps out just to ensure that Beal isn't able to get a quick shot off. And actually, I mean, this is just really nice help coverage all around, with Grimes scram switching onto Beal as the clock runs down. But again, the big picture, or the big point here, is just the way that Julius Randle is getting used in the defense. Okay, finally, one last play, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, so here we have Julius Randle in the corner, and we're going to have him switch again. This is not a ball screen switch. And again, these are plays that I've chosen to emphasize how this is really a schematic thing that Tibbs is like absolutely happy with Randle switching. Because this isn't even a ball screen. And again, Julius Randle is going to switch on Brad Beal. And again, you're going to see it's really not an advantage for one of the best two guards in the NBA. Okay, so now he's switched on to Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal tries to go baseline, and really he just can't. I mean, he can't win baseline against him. Now, there was a missed closeout here, but this is really impressive stuff by Julius Randle. And if he can do this consistently throughout the season, this is going to be a huge advantage. Absolutely a huge advantage for the Knicks. You can run much more complicated defenses. A defense, if he gets some time with the second unit and is able to run with, like, maybe Sims gets some time as well, you can have a really amazing, aggressive defense with a big who's able to do this sort of thing. There aren't many bigs in the league who can. You're really talking about like Draymond Green and Bam Adebayo as guys who can do it. Now, there are some big wings like, Kawhi or Paul George who are in a similar sort of tier, but even those guys, especially Kawhi, I think Julius has faster feet on the defensive end and has a quicker hip turn. He's able to change the direction of his hips, or flip his hips, as sometimes people say, in order to move with ball handlers as they cross them over or something like that and prevent their penetration, which most bigs just are not able to do that. So it's really impressive stuff. And if he's able to do this consistently going forward, I think he has a real shot of being, I don't think I'm crazy to say, the second best defensive player on the team. Mitch, I think, will clearly be the most impactful one, but Julius could be a very impactful defender in this scheme. So I'm very happy to see Tibbs doing this. It's awesome to see. I love it. I think it's great news. I think it's really cool. But that's it. That's all I got for you today. If you enjoyed this video, I didn't say anything like this last time, but I should have. Like and subscribe to the Strickland. You can also follow us on Twitter or go read, awesome articles that we have going on the website, or, join the Patreon if you enjoy this sort of thing. It helps support content like this. But liking and subscribing would be super awesome. We're trying to build our YouTube, presence a little bit and start doing things like this a little more frequently. If you want to keep seeing them, that, encourages us and tells us it's a good idea to keep pursuing it. And if you have, people sometimes, say this and maybe don't always mean it, but if you have, or like they just want interaction for interaction's sake. But if you have thoughts about the defense or topics you want me to cover or something like that, and you put them in the comments, get in the comments, I will get down there and read them. I am really curious, like things you guys want to hear about, or just questions you have, or comments you have on the videos or clips that I played here, or, why I had that one clip filmed on a potato. Anything like that. Anyways, okay, this has been awesome. I appreciate you guys. Take care.